different species for the evolution of new species also. So there are modes of reproduction systems used by the single organisms, or there is a different organisms. As we know that we are learning from the 8th standard, so there are two different main types of reproduction systems or the process, that is the asexual and the sexual. There are two types of process of reproduction, that is the asexual and sexual. Asexual reproduction is the process in which new individuals are produced from a single parent. That means there is only involvement of only one parent. From that, two or more species or more offspring may develop. That is called the asexual reproduction. But in sexual reproduction is the process in which two individuals are involved. Two different individuals are involved to produce a new individuals. For example, human beings and the animals. There will be the male and female. Then only the new offspring or the individuals may develop. But in asexual, only one parent is required to develop a new individuals. So asexual reproduction requires only one parent, and offsprings are the exact copy of the parent. That is called also clone. Why it is called an exact copy? Because whatever the DNA is taking or the genetical material is taking from their parents, it has the same copies or same number of you can say the DNA or the DNA from the parents to the offspring. So there is no point of variation. There is no variation because of the single parents. So whatever the genetical material is taking from the parent is the same in the offspring. That's why it is said that exact copy of the parents. So there is no variation, there is no changes in the offspring or the individuals. Organisms that produces asexually cannot develop much variety because they are copying the original organism exactly as they are developing from their parents. So they do not have the ability to make the variations in their bodies or at the genetical level. This does not allow for evolution of the species. As there is no variations, that means there is no evolution at all. Each organism is the exact same as its parent. This process takes relatively short time because only one parent is involved. That's why it may develop in a short duration, or it occurs in a very short duration and can produce from 1 to hundreds of offspring. It has the ability to produce from 1 to 100 offspring or the individual in a short period or the duration. Now today we are going to discuss about the asexual reproduction of a different types. So in that, fission, budding, regeneration, fragmentation, spore and vegetative propagation we will see in a next period or the next time. So today we are going to discuss about the fission, budding, regeneration and the fragmentation. See, first, what is meant by fission? The fission is an asexual reproduction by which unicellular organisms divide and form two or more individuals. This is the process. Fission is the process by which unicellular organism, for example amoeba, this is a unicellular organisms that divide and to form two or more individuals. That is, this process is called as a fission. Now if we see the diagrams, so amoeba start to divide after grown into a certain size. As we know that it has the irregular size, at a particular corner it start to elongate or start to develop in a new individuals. And is starting the pulling to each other. At that time, genetical material inside of the amoeba, it also start to divide itself. While dividing or at the time of detach from each other, the genetical material also get divide along with the two cells or the individuals, and they can have an independent DNA from their parents. So depending upon their formation of individuals, again the fission process has been divided into two types, that is the binary fission and the multiple fission. So why it is called as the binary fission? In binary fission, an organism divide and forms only two individuals. Binary means two. The organisms form only two individuals. The nucleus divide and to form the nuclei. That's why it is called as a binary fission. That means formation of only two individuals. That's why it's called as a binary fission. As I said, amoeba has the potential to develop two individuals along with the exact copy of the DNA. That's why amoeba comes under the fission process. In binary fission, the individuals or the organisms have the potential to develop two individuals. That's why it's called as a binary fission. The multiple fission, in this method, one organisms divide into many daughter cells. For example, Plasmodium or malarial parasite. From one parent, it has the potential to develop even more than 100 individuals, even more than 200 individuals. That's why it's called as a multiple